Hello, testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Hello. Hey, how are you doing? I see someone is on. This is Shelly with Shelly's Creative Life, and I'm going to talk today about how I self-publish my book. If you don't vote, you don't count. Vernon Damer's Fight for Equality. This is a proof that I received, and once I received the proof, I went through it before I ordered of trying to self-publish my book. And I had this dream for 20 years. And finally, when I retired, I was able to start working on the manuscript. And he helped me get the manuscript to a point where it was, of course, well written without any errors, but also this is a historical biography. And so we wanted to make sure that everything was accurate historically. And so I worked on it. I mean, I got to tell you, I had so many different versions. But that summer that I retired, I started working on it, and I really I consulted with my husband, consulted with his family, and so I was finally able to get a manuscript. And so once I got the manuscript, I went on and I started reaching out to an illustrator. And so once I found my illustrator, then I was able to really start moving on my book. And let me just show you. So that's an illustration that he did. And what I would do is I would give him pictures, and he would take the pictures and he would actually create the illustration. And so that was very, very important, that I wanted the illustrations to be accurate. And so he would take the pictures, and they were black and white pictures. And so he would create, or they would, I'd say photos, and he would actually create the illustration. However, if we did not have a photo, then we would have to create just from the pictures and just from our imagination. So we did a lot of that, to where we had to create pictures from our imagination. For example, when we talked about his childhood, we didn't know he was born in he was in the early 1900s. So it was kind of hard to we didn't have any pictures of him. And so we had to really just kind of look at family members and take those family member childhood pictures, and then create from the family members. But the family feels like that was pretty accurate. And so working with the illustrator took probably a year and a half. Took a year and a half to get all of my illustrations, because what I would do is I would, I'd work a little bit, I'd pay for an illustration, and then I'd work a little more because I'm retired. And so hot tea here. And this is my coffee cup in my Printify store. It says creativity plus coffee equals joy. Yes. And so when I'm being creative, I am very, very happy. So let me talk a little bit about the illustrations. And so I would get an illustration at a time, and usually an illustration would cost maybe between 40 and $50, depending on how much detail I wanted in the illustration. If it wasn't a lot of detail, then it might be as low as like $20. But for the most part, it was generally around $30, $40. And then Fiverr, I used Fiverr. I found my illustrator Jackson in on Fiverr. He is from Kenya, and a great young man. We worked very closely together through email, and he was very, very helpful, very nice, and extremely creative. And so he agreed at the beginning that he would do an illustration at a time for me. And so I was able to, over a matter of probably a year and a half, I was able to purchase my illustrations and then have my picture book. My picture book is on Amazon. And I think that the illustrations are, are of high quality, very high quality. He did an amazing job. We communicated through email and on Fiverr, on the Fiverr platform. So if you are considering, publishing a picture book and you want to get illustrations and you want to go through Fiverr, it is a great platform to use. I see that my husband just joined me. Hello, Philip. Thank you so much for joining my live. I am talking about how you and I, self-published the picture book of your grandfather. Use because when you're using Fiverr, I see that I'm having some connection problems, but I think it went off. So when you're using Fiverr, Fiverr is the gatekeeper. And so you do not have to worry about someone, taking advantage of you, because Fiverr is going to make sure that the illustrator does everything that they need to do to help the writer. And so Fiverr will make sure that that your illustrator or anyone that you work with on Fiverr, that they do what they're supposed to. There's a customer service available to you when you request issues. If you have any issues with Fiverr, I really never had any major issues that I could not resolve. And so that was a really, really great thing. And so the illustrations is what I want to talk about today. Now, you will need a book formatter, and on another day, I will talk about how I found my book formatter and how I used my book formatter to help me, because once you write your manuscript and you get your illustrations, then you need help. He was able to, now I sent him a picture and he created everything from scratch. He didn't have any photographs of her, sleeping in her little poster bed. Everything was from his imagination. I would send him the script and he would read the script, and then he would create my illustration. And so he did an amazing job with my illustrations. And so this just lets you know that if you have a dream to write a picture book, it is possible. you're able to get your illustrations, you're able to have someone help you format your book, and there are even people on Fiverr are just out there who will help you market your book. And I want you to know that it is possible to have your dream of publishing your picture book, and you can, once you get it published, then you can upload it to Kindle Direct Publishing and have your dream of being a published author. I am so happy to talk to you today. I want to do more of these lives and talk about self-publishing and help you self-publish your book if you have a dream. I also have, if it's not a picture book that you want, I also have this nonfiction writing book. I wrote this right after retirement and laid it out. And so I've published this on Amazon also. I hired a young man on Fiverr to format this for me. So the resources are available for you to publish your own book. All right. Well, that's all for today. I will be back to talk more about publishing my books and how you can publish your books too. All right. Take care, friends. Bye.